Good evening. We are live for the final Sunday night vinyl confessions. This is going to be kind of weird tonight because I think I only hosted this one other time because of Steve's technical difficulties.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. So trying to, anchor this in and Marcia and I, we were talking about it after Steve deleted his channel. We figured since this was his show that we might as well just, put it to rest and, give it up. But, who knows, maybe, we'll talk about it in future, but maybe we'll do something in the future.
Yeah,
but
we just kind of wanted to have one last thing to say. Thanks for watching and making connections with us and being our friends.
Yes. Well, that was the thing, Marcia and I were talking about, that a lot of us here, especially in the chats, just, in our circle.
Hi, JT and Heidi Lee.
Hey, hey, Mickey.
Hey, Mickey.
Hey, Ed. How you doing? We were saying that, Steve is the reason why a lot of us know each other. Hi,
Richard.
Hey, Richard. I see. This is the part I'm not used to, like, on everything. Richard, good to see you, man.
There is a specialty to it, isn't there?
It is, but even this shirt, which was from the big, shindig in Boston. A lot of us, we wouldn't have known each other if it wasn't for Steve. And
yeah.
So, we should honor him here's one thing. Let's not make it like it's a funeral or something.
Yeah. Just to put it out there, Steve is physically okay. He is not sick. He is, there's nothing like that going on. So I just want to put that out there that he is physically fine. Because I know some people automatically jump to that kind of a conclusion that there must be something medically or tragically going on. And that's not the case. So.
Yeah. He's retiring. He's shutting down his business. I talked to him yesterday, actually. It's taking up a lot of his time. So he just figured it was just easy just to
he's just
kind of do like an Irish exit and just not say anything.
Yeah, so, even though he's from the Midwest. Quick goodbye, Alex. I know you know that's rare. But he's just moving on to a different stage in his life.
Yes. Thank you, Gary.
Oh, thanks, Gary.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's see. Yes. Yeah, he's coming out next month.
Yeah,
you'll meet him before I meet him.
Yeah. So. Exactly. And I want to say also, there's no hard feelings. Nobody's angry at anybody. There's no hate, nothing like that. We still have good relationships with each other. So please don't think that there was any kind of animosity going on.
Right. Yeah. This is as cliche and silly as it sounds. This is a very drama-free.
Yeah. And I know, and I'll spill some personal stuff about me. I know I missed some episodes last month, and that was because I lost my father. It wasn't because I was mad at these guys. Nothing like that. They were so supportive and so nice and so kind to give me, space to deal with that. So please don't think that because I was missing a couple of episodes that has anything to do with this.
Right. So, of course, Richard with the thank you for that visual.
I mean, if that's what Steve wants to do, have at it, Steve.
Right. Put that out on YouTube. Hey, William. No, we are not
Mm-mm,
continuing this show. I mean,
no.
maybe in the future we might do something different, but in the landscape of live streams, it'll probably be very similar. So
Yeah, that's not to say that maybe we'll hop on a quick Friday and do something like
yeah,
Alex and Emma does, maybe, or show up on there and bother those two.
right.
But oh, thanks so much, guys. I appreciate that. I wasn't throwing that out there looking for any kind of sympathy. I just wanted people to know that that's why I was gone. It wasn't because there was any kind of tension or anything like that. So, thanks, Alex.
Kind of just going through here. Yeah, it's a rough thing to go through. Um, I mean, not to insert myself into this. I went through that thankfully it was a long time ago. Um, but
Yeah, and you know, my birthday was last week. I turned 53. So I had my dad almost 53 years, and that's a privilege because a
right,
lot of people don't have a parent that long, and I still have my mom.
yeah. So,
So,
well, happy belated birthday.
oh, thank you.
Um, so we were gonna do like album reviews, and with all the crap that's been going on in our lives, we honestly, I don't think we had the mindset to,
Mm-mm.
listen to what we had planned and um, put forth, a good review. I mean, I listened to what we were supposed to, and I did like the Willie Nelson. I did listen to that about 3 times.
Good. That I'm good. It's such a nice record, isn't it? It's a lot like the Ozarker. Like it
Yes.
just makes you feel good. The music on it is incredible. Like the little bit of Spanish flair and stuff.
I was thinking I got to look into it. I mean, I thought that was like a Rick Rubin production because it sounds like his kind of stark, you know, his stark production. Hey, Mike.
Oh, so Mike, are you going to be now MGK Buffalo?
Yeah, we're gonna find out.
I'm sure I can't be the first person who's asked him that.
No, let's see.
Thank you, Gary.
Let's see. And there's Alex. Well, I do have the Sunday Night
And I
Vinyl.
have
But
the shirt on. But honestly, Alex, I only like one out of the three, and it's the first. Not a big cranberries fan. Sweet potatoes are gross.
I dig on some sweet
Oh,
potatoes, especially at Thanksgiving. Get the marshmallow on top of it. Hell yeah.
cinnamon and sugar and all of that.
Yeah. It's
Thanks, Richard. And by the way, everybody who's watching, Richard now has a channel.
yes.
So
Everyone subscribe to him.
subscribe to Richard and watch his stuff. He was on the live stream with Alex and Emma that I caught for a few minutes the other night.
Hey, Brian.
Hi,
Let's see.
Brian. No, I'm your age, JT.
Hello, hellos.
Oh,
And
oh, Mark, come on now.
yeah, Mark, I just watched your video. Thank you for the shout out.
I
Appreciate
got the notification, but I didn't watch the video yet.
it.
We'd all like it if Steve would start back up again, I'm sure. But that
Yeah,
remains to be seen.
definitely. Yeah. So this is Steve was a master at this, trying to get through these.
It's very hard when I watch people do live streams and things like this and can maneuver between the comments and talking to people. Um, I don't know how people necessarily do it, but um, yeah. So my sister, when I saw my sister today, she had asked me, I thought this might be a good thing to bring up. Is there an episode or topic that we did that was our favorite?
Oh man.
I had to think about it, but I have one.
This is the part that it, in fun, but this is what pisses me off about the deleting the channel. I can't go back and look at some.
Yeah.
So, like even this last one, I was just like, wait, what were we gonna talk about? Oh, I'll just go back and oh wait, shit, I can't do that. So, let's see. Maybe I don't
I
know.
mean, if Chris Profi wants to have himself a celebration for it, I say go for it. But I think that would be his decision to make, not ours.
Yeah, I'll send him a text saying congrats.
And that's it. I mean, Chris Profi is such a nice guy.
Oh, absolutely.
He was gracious enough to fill in for me when my dad died, so I really appreciate that. The only bad thing was that I didn't get a chance to officially meet him. Well, that and my dad, but I would have liked to have been on an episode with him.
Yeah. Well. Hey, if we do something, we'll invite him on.
But that's what I liked the best about these was that having the different folks come on,
right?
Like Alex and FEA and Mark and
Yeah, we're all different, and we all have different things that we listen to and like, but we all get along great. We don't like, oh man, that I hate that stuff. That stuff shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I might say that after I turn off the computer, but no. No, it's a great group of people that we got here, and I feel very fortunate to get to know everyone around here. Let's see what we got. Just want to watch it stop. Yeah. Let's see. Yes.
But I mean, I think MGK he's a country guy. He likes old school country, so it would fit. Maybe he needs to be MGK Buffalo Wings.
There you go. This is what the. Let's see. Wait, what?
Thank God that Steve is taking a break. Was concerned when his channel just vanished. Poof like smoke from my joint now.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it was a bit abrupt. I mean, obviously, we got a heads up.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a break though, to be honest. I don't know if he'll be back. I don't want to make promises on his behalf that he will be. We hope he will be, but we don't know.
I mean, if he does, that's awesome. That'd be fantastic. If not, I get it.
That's cool too.
Thankfully, I still have his phone number and email address. And, we still talk, so it's all good. Let's see. Have to head out a bit earlier. Well, thank you, Mickey.
Thanks, Mickey. Mickey was our last guest.
Yes. Yeah. There you go.
We had a nice time with Mickey.
Yes, there's something to hang your hat on. I mean, sure, you play well. Sure, you're a great singer. You record great songs, but you were our last guest. I mean, that's the one that you really need.
And a very nice young man.
Oh, absolutely.
Very kind person.
Hey, Jack. I see ya.
So I'm glad you liked the Willie Nelson.
Yeah. In fact, it got me to, since I listened to Apple Music, I just put on the essentials, and it was like a 4-hour playlist.
Yeah. So. I have a lot of Willie Nelson albums, and there are several of his that are expensive, but the majority of his stuff is pretty cheap. Like Phases and Stages is expensive. Redheaded Stranger, even though it sold millions of records, can be expensive. I know he is not technically a great singer and all of that, but there is something about Willie Nelson's voice that is so comforting to me.
All right.
Just like his voice is like a big, fluffy, warm, soft blanket. Like it always just mellows you out and makes you feel good. Because there is no pretension there. There's no flashiness.
Right.
And I said that to my mom and my sister, and they both agreed. Like, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's just, and I listen to him a lot on Sunday mornings and stuff because it's just so good. And that Nelson Sings Christofferson album, I come across it in like $2-3 bins probably every time I'm out record shopping, and that is such a great album, pound for pound, buck for buck, like how much great songwriting is contained and music in it, you
Mhm.
know?
Let's see. Yes. Yeah, and let's see, for Wednesday, I got invited to Rob's,
Oh, good.
so yeah, apparently I had after this, I have nothing else to do, so no, it'll be great. I think I got invited on there once, like, as it was, like, rolling, but, I had just gotten home and, just trying to,
Yeah, with your time difference and everything, that makes sense. I went on there a couple of times when Glenn was still hosting it.
mhm,
Um, and I saw today that Glenn is doing the album exchange again with Larry.
okay,
So that makes me happy that those two are doing that again. I'll be definitely watching those videos.
right. This is yeah, I'm
Honky Tonk Buffalo Wings. That's the new name right there, Mike, right?
very
Honky Tonk and Buffalo Wings.
Is that where we're gonna have next July? Is where we cooking buffalo wings out on the grill?
Yeah, we got to start planning next year's event, Mike.
Yes, I'm already. It's like I'm thinking that I might have to fly into to Toronto and come down because that's like the closest airport, except maybe Rochester is like the next one, but
Oh, Buffalo doesn't have an airport?
nothing like I'm spoiled. I like a direct flight.
Same. Same.
So,
Although that wouldn't be bad then, because then maybe you can like hitch a ride with Brian.
well, that was the I was gonna say. Hey, Uwe, nice to see you. That's practically my neighbor.
Yes, you went out with him and Harry, and you saw the quad system, and I had asked about it on our last video. I wanted to hear about it, so come on and tell us about the quad system.
Yeah, that was amazing. It was good fun. Um, it was just a great night. It was in between the two Metallica shows.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, Uwe was going to those too.
Oh, he was? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I ran into him the Friday night, and he was just like, "Oh man, we're having a barbecue. Harry's coming over. Come on out." And so me and Grace went over, and it was really cool because Grace and his daughter were just from the get go, just
Oh,
get
fast
along
friends. That's
great.
awesome.
So, and
See,
then the
that's what's
whole
so great about the vinyl community like that, right?
yeah, and then there's Uwe, Harry, and myself nerding out in his music area. But yeah, it was cool. Yeah, we played Dark Side, and then what did we play? We played Aerosmith Rocks, which I was just like, there's a quad for Aerosmith Rocks. But the cool part was in Back in the Saddle. there's a part where you hear horses going around.
Oh, the horse bells.
Yeah, and the
Oh,
galloping. Yeah.
so the horse bells are like jingle bells taped to the boots of David Johansen, who was stomping around the studio
Okay.
because they were friends with the dolls. So yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Buffalo is a big city. I have through it a couple times. But the airport there, I'd have to get a connecting flight. There's no direct flights, and I don't.
Maybe you can, I don't know, have a layover in Detroit or something.
Maybe.
So what did Dark Side sound like on a quad system? Did you pick up anything new or?
Well, On the Run sounded really cool.
Yeah.
That was the one I was looking forward to hearing because that one's already just in stereo is all kind of trippy, but in quad is, that times two. So
Yeah. Harry's such a nice man. I was thinking about him today because I went and saw my mom, and when I leave my mom's and come to my house, I go through Eustis, Florida, and Harry told me that was where he was born. So I was thinking about Harry earlier today.
okay. So you met Steve Carlson. Nice. Very cool.
I want to meet Steve. So JT, is he as nice as he appears, or nicer? Like I think that could be the only way, right? Too lefty from Willie as well, yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, to kind of get back on track, yeah, we were gonna do reviews and all this other shit, but I think we're just gonna kind of celebrate the show and talk to all you guys and make it like I said a celebration of the friends that we've made through this show. So
For
this is
sure.
very, very cool. What? Hey John, by the way.
John, you've met me.
Right?
I've met you. Come on now.
You met Glenn.
I know you've met Scott, right?
Let's see. Oh, okay.
Ooh, do a
Oh.
food truck. That'd be fun.
That'd be a good idea. Oh, well, cheers. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Have I ever heard of Beatallica? Yes, I have. I remember them when they didn't even have CDs out yet. They just had MP3s available because they weren't legally allowed to put out CDs until they got the okay from the Metallica guys. And I think they had to get something with the McCartney estate and the Lennon estate. But yeah, there was pretty cool stuff. The guy sounded like a dead ringer for Hetfield is hilarious.
Yeah, I know, John, we've talked about a couple of times. We keep saying, like, yeah, we should meet up at Bananas in St. Petersburg with Scott one of these days, right?
Let's see. Friday afternoon. I am gonna be coming home early. I'm gonna attempt a nap, and then I gotta go up to Seattle to see Air.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then they're gonna
I
doing Moon Safari in its entirety, and
can't wait to hear about that.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But I do want to try to find that. I don't know if he's open permanently now at that place. This is this Jankulan that's like a record store that's kind of roaming around in other buildings is kind of weird. But see, some Beat Metallica open for Dream Theater in 2010. Handpicked by Portnoy, of course. Nice. Very cool. There you go. Yes, do that. See Sergeant Hetfield's Motor Breath Pub Band. Yes. Attempt a nap. Yes, I have to say attempt a nap because I am. If I know I got to be somewhere and I need to get some sleep, I can't sleep. And here's the reason why I got to say attempt a nap. Some may know. I know Marcia knows. I get up at 2 in the morning to go to work. So if I'm working even an 8-hour day, trying to get home and take a nap, I need to because or if I work a full day like I normally do and go home, get cleaned up, drive up to Seattle, which is about a 45-minute drive for me, go to the show, get back in my car and head back another 45 minutes. I mean, we're talking almost a 24-hour day, and my old ass can't do that shit anymore.
Well, and you have a lot of dogs that'll keep you awake too. That's part of the attempting a nap, I'm assuming, right?
Well, it's the Metallica shows. So Grace and I were leaving early, so we give them half their dinner, so they had something in their bellies, and we get home at like 1 in the morning, and I'd feed them the other half of their dinner. So 1 in the morning, they're eating. And these motherfuckers, they would wake me up 5:30. A few hours later, hey, it's breakfast time. No.
Well, that's what they do.
So, yeah. But I love them still. As much as they piss me off. But well, Bella, the husky, she hid in our closet earlier because people were blowing shit up because the Seahawks won. So
does that mean something?
Yeah, when the Seahawks win, people celebrate by like lighting off.
Okay, I was gonna say it's fairly early in the season, so I know it's not some championship something or another, right?
No, but it's also they won 3 in a row. So
okay, so that's reason to blow shit up.
Yeah, well, any reason to blow shit up happens a lot here. So, but yeah, I felt bad for her, trying to hide from all the noise. And I wish you could just say, hey, or wish they would realize when I say nothing's going to happen, you're fine, to no avail. But so I'm trying to think of, I don't know, thinking about the shows and, favorite times, I'm like, it all seems like one big show after a while. I'm like, because we went through so many topics and I can't specifically put, what we were doing. So, I mean, some of the guests that we've had on, well, shit here. Okay. Let me throw back some origin. I knew Steve was doing his.
I'm going to get another drink, but keep talking. I can hear you.
So Steve and Gary were doing the spin on this, which was a great show. And, they would have other people come on. And I think, and if Gary's still on, he could let me know. I think there was only about 6 episodes of that overall. And then Steve got a hold of me and asked if I wanted to be on with him on a live stream. I honestly thought it was just a one-time thing. And we talked, I think we did about 90 minutes or something. And so we and it was just the two of us, and we're just shooting the shit for like I said, 90 minutes. And when it was over and we're backstage and all that stuff, he's like, so what do you want to do for next time? I'm like, next time, we're gonna do this again, or I'm coming back on again. I didn't think that he would want me as, like a partner in this whole thing. And then we had the rotating third wheel for a while, and we had Marcia on as a third wheel,
I asked to be on.
and yeah,
I was watching it, and or I didn't watch it live. I watched it the next day, or I was watching it for just a few minutes, and I just popped in to say hi. And then when I went back to watch the entire episode, Trevor's like, "Yeah, we should have Marcia on." And then I put it on the comments. I'm like, "I'll be on whenever you guys want."
yeah. Well, and then we had you on, and yes, we did listen to the Neville brothers, and I don't know your thoughts on the Neville brothers.
It sounded exactly like I thought it was going to, because I was very familiar with Yellow Moon because it was on the soundtrack at Wilson Swade and Leather when I worked there in 1990. So, and that entire album sounds like that. That's a Daniel Lanois. And I heard Yellow Moon 1,000,001 times at least, because remember, well, probably not you, Trevor, but every mall store I worked in had these big 16 track tapes that were like this big,
Okay.
and it played for 4 hours, and you'd get one from the corporate office that you'd put in there every day for like 5 months straight and just hear the same songs every 4 hours.
Yeah, I worked at Burlington Coat Factory, and yeah, you'd hear like the same like dozen and a half songs over in the same order.
Yep.
Yeah, same
Yep.
thing. But I mean, there were some good ones in there. I mean, at that time, I think I heard, oh God, what was it off of Innuendo from Queen? Not Show Must Go On, but oh, it is like the ballad on there. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but
So the first job I had was working at Ups and Downs at Oakland Mall in
okay,
1988. And it was like the best of 87 because it had like Terrence Trent D'Arby, Sinead O'Connor,
right,
um, Depeche Mode, The Smiths. So that, we didn't have an alternative station at that time. So that was like the first time I had heard the Smiths music and,
right.
The
Oh,
Cure.
I just realized we could talk about Michigan all we want
Oh
now.
my gosh. Oh my. Yeah, we haven't mentioned it once.
Yes. But to get back to how it all started, um, but yeah, we had Marcia on, and I think we had a couple other people on, and I think Steve and I decided just like let's have Marcia back because that worked out really well, and
Thank you.
and then and the rest is all history. Let's see what is always. Yeah, that was that's what we were saying earlier. How we're all like come from different backgrounds and different likes, what we have, and we still get along, and that's the great
Yeah,
thing about this. And we leave a lot of other things that are very decisive out of our realm.
except for Billy Joel. We all hate Billy Joe. Sorry, John. No, I'm joking. That's one of my favorite episodes is when we had John on because John was just a trooper the entire time. John
Right?
is such a nice man.
Yes, he is. Speaking. Let's see.
And we had talked about that. I think I brought it up. Was it last week or maybe when we got back from Boston? Because I had bought that ELO box set. And I was like, I think ELO is the meeting point for all three of us. I think all three of us love ELO. Like that's our main connection musically, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
Because there's stuff that you and I like. I love Moon Safari. That
mhm.
is not Steve.
No, I couldn't see him getting into that. There was someone. Well, maybe it was Alex. I was thinking that he would probably like that album a lot.
Moon Safari.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I've recommended it to him.
but let's see. let's see. I'm on here.
But yeah, I mean the Yellow Moon, it was good. It was exactly like what I expected it to sound like. Um,
um, I was listening to it while I was washing the trailer today, and there is like a hip hop rap thing that was like, man, this is very 1989.
I mean, they have lovely harmonies and
Yeah, but we did listen to it, so don't fret, John. We did listen to it, and then we listened to. Well, yeah, I think we talked about it. The Phil Mog.
yeah, I did not listen to that.
I heard it, and yeah, just like I
I
said, yeah, I was never a UFO guy in the first place. Not that I didn't like UFO, it's just it never really grabbed me. And yeah, it just sounded like old guy from an old rock band putting out a new record, and didn't do much for me. It
and
wasn't
that's
or anything, but
Trevor told me that, and I was like, well, then that means I'm not going to listen to it because that's what I expected it to sound like. That sounds gorgeous. I would love a cool, rainy, autumnal day in northern Michigan because I
mm,
sweated my ass off here in Florida today.
I want to go back to Trevor City because that's where they're at is Trevor City, right? Yeah.
They were at one time. I think they still are now.
Okay. Yeah, going there a few years ago, and I hadn't been there in probably 30 years prior to that. And man, it was just such a good time.
I have been here in Florida going on 20 years. April will be 20 years.
Wow.
So it's been probably 22, 23 years since I was in Traverse City. So, I mean, I regret it every day. That's not true. I don't regret it November through March. I definitely don't regret it.
Yeah. So
Not
what like winter time? I mean, it it still probably rains, but
nope. It's
no,
very
really?
dry in the winter. It's the dry season.
Okay.
So it's starting to get cooler, and it's actually, I feel like this September is cooler than a lot of the most recent Septembers. If anybody wants to hear my weather talk on Florida, because I hate September the most out of everything because you walk around and everybody's wearing like Florida sweatshirts, Florida State sweatshirts. And it's like, how are you wearing sweatshirts? I know you love football, but come on, people.
Right.
And when I lived in Gainesville and we'd go tailgating, because I didn't go to college in Gainesville, but I lived in Gainesville and we'd go to tailgate and you'd just be fucking dripping. It was so gross.
Right.
And it's gross now. I still, I go shopping and the clothes they sell here in Florida at like the stores like TJ Maxx or the mall or whatever, it's still the same stuff that I could have gotten up in Michigan. It's not like they're selling bikinis and linen pants 12 months out of the year, even though you can wear that 12 months out of the year. So you can always tell who the tourists are versus the people that live there because like myself, like in December, January, February, I'm wearing like more winter based type stuff. Like I'm wearing like a leather loafer, like a closed-toed shoe and like a pant and maybe like a cardigan, for
Okay.
example, and a tourist is in like sneakers and khaki shorts
That would
and
be
a Hawaiian print shirt, but we're like, "Oh, it's cold." You know?
oh, so you assimilated there.
Yeah, like my friends that have pools, they don't keep their pools open in the winter, but like my friends that come in from out of town, they're like, "Let's go to the pool in January." And I'm like, "Are you fucking crazy? It's freezing out there."
Yeah. It's a freezing 72.
Yep. So
Okay.
I I went to work one day and I had to drive down to the courthouse in downtown Orlando. And on my way back, I had to stop at Walgreens. I don't know why, but I stopped at Walgreens, which is only a mile away from my office. And in between
Okay.
getting out of my car and going into Walgreens, it poured on me. I looked like a drowned rat when I got to the office and it was completely sunny. And everybody asked me, "What happened to you?" And I was like, "I was down the street at Walgreens."
Hey, thank you very much for coming on. I appreciate it very much. Have a good night, man.
So, yes, that raining across the street thing is definitely real.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. The last time I was in Florida, it was when I was first driving, like driving truck.
Hmm.
We're talking early 2006. Like I
So
think
before
we.
parenthood and all of that.
Oh yeah, long time. Yeah. So, um, yeah, I remember I was with my trainer. I think we went all the way across from like California, Arizona, Texas,
Wow.
and then finally made it to Florida. And then we were going up. And the thing is, I remember one time, like, see, I got my CDL like the 1st of December of 2005, and I was gonna be going out on the road. So remember, it's December in Michigan, so I packed for Michigan December.
Yeah.
So yeah, when we got down to like Baton Rouge, Louisiana, I remember it's like December 30th because it's almost New Year's Eve, and my Michigan brain could not wrap around like, wait, it's hot and humid, and tomorrow is New Year's Eve. What the hell? And I brought no shorts or anything. You know,
It is Christmas is weird. And I'll tell you one thing that's weird for me is I've been here now, like I said, almost 20 years. I'll say 20 years because I started working here for months before I officially moved. So I can say 20 years. But, when I lived in Michigan, I had, the seasons are such a good memory marker. Like,
right,
I remember this happening here because I had a winter coat on, or I remember like it was so cold when like we went and saw Rush at the Palace, so it was winter, blah, blah, blah.
right,
I have no concept of time with my memories here in Florida because it's always nice. So
right.
those seasonal markers are very important in terms of memories and stuff. And I don't have that. Every day looks the same. It just, there are times where I'm just like, what when is it here? And it also doesn't stay light out until 9:30 at night, which I totally miss. I still think, it'll be like 7:30. I'll be like, oh, I still got an hour and a half. And it's like, no, I've got like 10 minutes,
Oh, okay.
daylight. So I miss that.
Right.
But my sister came to visit me, years ago, like in March. And we walked out of my place and I was like, "Oh, it's so beautiful." And my sister says, "Do you walk out of your house and say that every morning? Because that's exactly what you have done when I've been here." I'm like, "Pretty much, yeah. This time of the year when I walk out of the door, I'm like, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful. This is why we live here."
Yeah, here, I mean, summertime, it is dry as a bone here. Very little precipitation at all.
Hmm.
So it also fools a lot of people. They'll come and visit here in August. It's like, wait a second, this is great. I love this. And people move here. And then, end of September, October rolls around. And then, it's not even rain.
The gray.
It's just gray and drizzle, like barely drizzle. Just
I mean,
enough
that's yeah.
just enough to coat everything.
My favorite day in Michigan was that first warm day. Like that first like 70-degree day and you got your winter coat and you're like, "I don't need this motherfucker anymore." Like, yay. Like that
Yeah,
is the best day of the year. And then of course it's freezing the next.
Oh yeah,
Like people are still wearing winter coats to like the Tigers opening game.
right. But remember, like in like February, there'd be like that one weird
Yeah,
like 65-degree day, and everyone's
yeah.
like, yeah, it's
Yeah, that's why I'm like, it's like the best day of the year, because like better horizons are on the way. I don't have that to look forward to anymore.
right.
But
I
like in the summer, I sit inside all day long like I would in Michigan in the winters. There's not a lot of difference. You kind of hibernate indoors in the summer and, you know, Christmas is weird. You see people with Christmas decorations and they're all winter themed, but there's no snow anywhere, but they'll still have a blow up snowman in their front yard.
oh yeah, same here. Mike, how you doing? Let's see. Yeah, yeah, it's been 80 up in Michigan. Yeah,
Oh, is Mike from Michigan?
yeah. Actually, we went to Clarkston together.
Oh, okay. Hi,
Yeah,
Mike.
yeah. He was like in the next grade up from me, but yeah, Clarkstonian.
Well, my sister is here from Troy right now.
Okay.
So she was very happy to have shorts on today when I saw her.
Yeah, my dad, he'll be here in a
Oh,
few
that's
weeks.
right.
Yeah,
Are you gonna? I know we were gonna have him on. Are you still gonna do something with him?
I might. I don't know. Like that. See, like Harry, he's been begging me to come out to see one of his open mics on Sunday.
That'd be awesome.
So I'm like, okay, this is my opportunity to do that. And my dad
Yeah,
likes that stuff
'cause
too.
your
So,
dad's a musician, right?
oh yeah. So
Yeah, that would be great. I think you should do that.
yeah, so we'll probably do that. And that's kind of the silver lining of this whole thing, kind of opens up,
Everything evolves and changes.
yeah.
One
So
door closes, another opens, right?
yeah. And like you said, we doesn't necessarily have to be on a Sunday. We could do something else, and we could do it sporadically or kind of plan it out, loosely plan it out.
Yeah.
Doesn't
I
have
re-
to
I
be.
remember over the winter, we did a lot of these pop-up live streams,
Yeah. Well,
because
I like when if the wife was out of town. I
yeah,
would
we did a lot of them in the winter. Because I remember being on the computer at my mom's house with you guys,
yeah.
and I was out in the sunroom.
Yes. In fact, that
That was the night I went and saw Herman's Hermits with my mom
yeah. In
at
fact,
the
yeah,
retirement
was
community,
going I was going
4 o'clock in the afternoon.
I was going through some of the lives I had, in the archives, and I'm like, wait, we were on for like 4.5 hours? Jesus Christ.
I think Alex was on, and Anthony, and MGK, and Gary, and yeah, we had a bunch of people on.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. I always like that. Those are like the house parties.
Yeah.
People come and go, people stay. I like that. And then there's no specific topic. We just kind of let it roll. So
So I think if you're not going to do a live stream with your dad, you should try and like record a video with your dad.
I should. Um just well, I do want to talk about his rock past and what he does now. I mean, he's in a cover band. You
That's
know,
awesome.
he's 75 and still plays drums. What was it? He was you'll dig this one. He was just like, yeah, we got to learn a new song called Fire Woman. I'm like,
The
the
cult.
cult? He's like, yeah, that's who it is. I'm like, holy shit.
What is his cover band's name?
I honestly don't remember. He just
And
called
they
it.
play in Michigan?
Yeah. Yeah, they do gigs. They mostly just practice.
That's awesome.
So yeah, this is
I kind of want to do something with my mom, but I don't think she would want to do it. But I kind of think it would be fun if I did a video with her, because I know a lot of people talk about their parents and how they got into music because of their dad. And my dad was not a music guy. Like, my music parent was my mom, totally, all the
Right.
way. My mom was the music person. So all the music that I like is stuff that she likes. So she was telling me last weekend when I saw her about like all the concerts that she went to. She saw Leonard Cohen like 20 times when she was a teenager at this place down on Greenfield in Southfield.
Hmm.
She's like, yeah, it was the folk place. You know, I saw Joni Mitchell there, and I saw Leonard Cohen a bunch of times there. And she's just going on. And then she's telling me that, you know, she saw Ike and Tina Turner down at the Masonic and all of this. And I was like, I didn't know you saw all these people. And she's like, oh yeah. And you know, she saw Mitch Ryder a bunch of times. I thought my mom always liked Mitch Ryder, which my mom can anyways. She's like, it's, you know, he was on every corner. I saw him a bunch. It just wasn't a big deal anymore.
Right.
She
Yeah.
never did make it down to the Grandy to see the MC5. She made it down to the Grandy to see Leonard Cohen.
I'm gonna ask because I don't think he ever saw the MC5. I knew of them through him, but I don't think he ever saw them or the Stooges or anything like that. I'll have to grill him on that stuff.
Yeah.
But
But
speaking of parents in videos in the VC, did you ever see MGK's interview with Anthony's mom?
that was so cute.
That
We
was
were talking
awesome.
about Liberace. And I almost made a comment because she was talking about her husband, and she said her husband's name was Jim. I almost put a comment in like, Anthony, my dad was a Jim too, but I just got too sad to do it because it was right after, you know, I lost
Well,
my dad. So
I think I either put in the comments or in our text thread. I told him that my face was hurting from smiling that hard during that whole thing. It's Mike is a natural interviewer, just really
he
cool.
he's so warm and welcoming.
Yes, and then and I'm sure I'll definitely be talking to Anthony about this, but they're saying about going to Vegas, and taking his mom to Vegas. I'm like, let me know. I want to go. I want to hang out with Betty because she just seems like the most awesome lady. So
Yeah. Yeah. You know, because I still go to concerts with my mom from time to time. They're not concerts that most people would be like
well, Herman's
excited
Hermit.
and into, but like we went and saw Herman's Hermits, and you know, we've seen some tribute bands and stuff out in my mom's retirement village. We've seen, you know, cool stuff like that. Um, I don't have friends whose moms want to go see a Tom Petty cover band, but my mom wants to go see a Tom Petty cover band, you know?
Yeah. Oh
So,
yeah, my dad. He saw it was either a Stevie Nicks or Fleetwood Mac tribute not too
oh,
long. So
and my mom would kill for something like that. Yeah, yeah.
the only time my dad and I went to an actual concert is because I was working it. I think I might have told this story. Um, so the company I was working for at the time, this is when I was doing like staging lighting stuff. We had a contract for the Michigan State Fair,
Okay.
and
We can talk
we,
about Michigan all we want.
yeah, but it was the year that they didn't have it at the band shell. They had it inside the Coliseum,
Okay.
which um throughout the thing, it's all free concerts, so people go in there and it's fine. But we set
Yeah.
up the stage and the lights and stuff. Except for one concert, they charged I think it was like $20, which this was like in 2004, maybe 2005. Um, ZZ Top was
Oh,
charging
okay.
20, which nowadays is like a total bargain.
Yeah, yeah, for
I don't
sure.
know. Did you ever see a show at the Coliseum there? When like in the early 90s they did concerts there, like
No.
actual
Mm.
off season. Okay, the building is nothing but steel and concrete. So it's just sound bouncing all over the place. And since ZZ Top were charging people to get in, the place was practically empty. And I'm at, front of house, where the mixing board is in the middle of the floor, the best place to hear. Even with earplugs in, I had to push them in so hard just to figure out what song they were playing. I could hear in that place. But anyway, so the last concert of the season was Alice Cooper. And of course, one of my all-time favorites.
Steve's too.
And
I think Alice Cooper is a trifecta we all probably agree on. Although I think you and Steve like him much more than I do, because
oh,
I
probably
drop off in the 70s.
right. But um, so I had like the little cloth, sticker pass, and I had my dad come down, and we did the whole like catering backstage and stuff, and
That's awesome.
um,
Show
so
your dad
we
a good time like that. Yeah.
yeah, and well,
Cool.
the cool part was not only to see Alice, and we're in the front of house, the best place to hear it. Some
Alice from
friends,
Detroit. Just
yes,
saying.
well, some friends of mine were opening for him,
Oh,
and
really?
yeah, and since well, the singer Derek, he gave me their CD, so I would know all the lighting cues. They had me do the lights, which was
Oh, okay.
fun for me. So
Cool.
I'm doing a light show in front of 8,000 people and
That's
stuff.
cool.
So that was fun. So,
That sounds like a great day.
yeah, dad got to see me, work. So, I get back here. Let's see. Yeah, fire. Yes. Let's see. The hills of Grand Traverse County are littered with ex-white panthers. Ah, okay.
My mom's best friend from high school has a vacation house in Traverse City. So when we go to Michigan next month for my dad's memorial service, my mom will be heading up to Traverse City for a couple of days.
Right on.
But I'll be back in Florida because I'm just going for the weekend. She's going to stay up there for about a month.
Right. Yeah. It's gorgeous. Well, it'll be kind of already off season by that point. Going up there.
Yeah, and that's because my mom's friend also does Airbnb her place in
Okay.
the summer. My mom likes JT and Heidi Lee. What is the school there that does like the culinary dishes? Students like cook food in the off season or whatever. My dad loved that place. They would always go there when they were up there. I can't remember the name of it. I've never been there, but they rave about it.
I'm
You can
trying to
probably
remember
spot my mom there in a month.
when we were there. There's on the main drag, and JT probably knows this place. There's a Mexican restaurant that we went to that my dad suggested going there, and we ended up going there like 3 times. It was so good. But I like hot sauces. So we're sitting there after we order. They got the big thing of chips and stuff, and I'm hitting with the hot sauce, and I'm thinking that they had it in order of like strength. So I did one, and so it's like, okay, that's all right. I grabbed the next one, and I pour it on there, and I bite into it, not thinking much of it, and all of a sudden my head is on fire. I'm like, holy shit, this is painful. And um when waiter comes around like for drinks or asking if everything's all right, and I might ask him, I was like, are these things supposed to be in order or like in strength? Or and he looks at the one bottle, he's just like, and this is how he said it. He's like, oh shit, this isn't even supposed to be out on the tables. So,
I'm not a hot, spicy food kind of person. But so are no anecdotes from Taxi? Because that's what I would want to hear. I'd want to hear
Right.
anecdotes from Taxi over Who's the Boss.
See, we're being okay. Yeah, this is Mexican restaurant. It's right by that the big miniature golf place that looks like a big pirate ship type thing over there. So that's like the big major landmark right next, because I think we parked there at the restaurant, went did miniature golf and came back.
So,
So
Trevor, when was the last time you were in Michigan?
um Red Mesa, that is it. Yes, it is. I knew you'd know it. Thank you. Last time I was in Michigan was in October 22 for my aunt's memorial.
Okay.
Yes,
The
Pirates.
last time I was there was May of 23. So,
Yeah, it's been a while.
and I'll be there in a month.
Yeah, and that October, I was there for literally, because I counted it. I was there for 47 hours.
Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen with me is I'll probably fly in on a Friday and fly out on a Sunday.
Yeah, that's what I did. In fact, the nice part is because my dad lives in Holly, and
Oh, okay.
I flew into Bishop in Flint, and
Allegiant.
and so it was it was. I think I had a layover in Chicago, of course, but that flight was like one of those small planes where, like, on the left side it had rows with two seats, and then the other side it had a single row of seats. So I had like that one side and lots of leg room. I loved it, and then just that little 45-minute jaunt over Lake Michigan.
So, my mom, I would fly into Flint quite often, and my mom would get pissed when she'd hear me say that. But about the third time I flew into Flint, she goes, this is actually better than Metro because she actually, got on the internet and found out, okay, where they lived, they were 41 minutes from, or 41 miles from Metro, but 45 miles from Bishop. But it actually took less time to get to Bishop and the parking was easier. So,
Oh,
like, I had to convince her, like, no, it's fine me flying into Flint. Like, there's not much of a difference. But when I first started flying there, Northwest was there. Then it was Southwest. Now it's Allegiant. And I have, I live in Central Florida and I live not too far from Sanford, Florida, and there is an airport in Sanford. Allegiant flies out of Sanford. They fly to Michigan on Thursdays and they fly to Michigan on Mondays. So Thursday flight is great. The Monday flight leaves at 7 a.m. I'm like, that's not, I'm going to take a day off of work to fly back home. Like, no.
I do that all the time. I did that for Boston. Well, not I didn't take to fly home is because I got back so late. That's why I took the Monday off.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm not getting up at the ass crack of dawn to take a vacation day to fly home. Like, but no, he would not stand for all this Michigan talk, Mark. So we are taking advantage.
Yeah, and yeah, keep in mind my channel. He's probably secretly watching and laughing.
I'm upset that I'm not actually drinking a rock and rye right now since we're talking about Michigan so much.
Are they so readily available down there? Okay, we have a gas station around here that carries Faygo.
I mean, I could find like a Faygo Red Pop or a Faygo Orange, but I cannot find rock and rye. Like, rock and rye is like very much a Michigan thing.
Right.
Hi, buddy.
Hey, Chan. Nice to see you, brother.
That makes it sound like he's dead.
Yeah.
Like he's watching from above.
No, I have a feeling that he is tuning in. So And anything that sounds like busting balls, it is. Because
It's
that's what
all in good-natured fun. Again, there is no animosity between any of us towards each other.
no, no. But as good friends always do, we always make fun of each other too.
I'm
So
gonna be I am gonna miss my getting hammered on camera every other week though. Although I've been pretty good the last several months.
I'm doing all right now. I mean, I'm only into my second. Well, I mean, it's a Rainier, which is like nothing. It's like
I don't know that I don't know. I'm drinking Fat Tire tonight.
okay. This is like the Pacific Northwest Strohs.
Oh,
So,
okay. I was going through some of my dad's stuff this weekend,
mhm.
and I found an old bottle opener that says Globals, Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, it's not. It's global, not even global. It's global.
Well, I said it wrong, but
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
it was a super cheap stuff. Check your phones. He's probably texting. Actually, I have my phone face down. Uh, let's see. I don't see anything on here. No, no, nothing from Steve. Everyone else in our thread, but no. But yeah, yeah, we were able to, like I said, or at least I think we can get Fago. No, I don't know. I don't drink. Well, around here I always say soda, but with you,
I still call it pop.
I don't drink pop
I drink
regularly
pop.
anymore. I don't bring it home. If we're out at a restaurant, maybe. Um, but yeah, we haven't really actively had pop in the house, so which is good. Let's see, is there? Yeah, Olympia, that's still there.
That's right. Is it like Mudhoney is JT's like third favorite band? I think.
I, I don't know. JT, is Mudhoney your third favorite band?
Well,
I've,
I could be wrong because I watched JT and Heidi Lee's videos. I think JT's favorite band is the Who and Heidi Lee's is the Kinks. And I think for each other they reverse them. So
one of my favorite raves. Okay. I never numbered them. But yeah, I never saw Mudhoney. I've seen Mark Arm once, but not with Mudhoney. So
I
that
never saw any of the grunge bands.
uh because I hate to call them a grunge band, but I've seen Alice in Chains a few times.
Yeah, I never saw any of them.
I
I
saw
saw lots of other concerts, but I never saw Pearl Jam. I
one
saw the Foo Fighters, but that's the closest I'll ever get to seeing Nirvana.
um seen Soundgarden twice on the Bad Motorfinger album cycle because first time they were opening for Skid Row, yeah, figure out that pairing, and at the Fox Theater.
I'm sorry, but that is a very handsome man bill right there with Sebastian Bach and Chris Cornell.
Right, and
I'm
then
just saying.
well, then the following summer or later that summer they were part of Lollapalooza, so I got to see Pearl Jam and Soundgarden on the same day. So yes, oh
And
nice,
some other Love Bone, right?
yeah. So yeah, let's see. That's for Sparks. Yeah. Hey, Catherine.
Catherine. Catherine, are you back from vacation?
Seen Pearl Jam. I never saw STP.
I never had much interest in STP.
I almost saw STP until Weiland fucked up and got busted for heroin. Because they were supposed to be the direct support for Kiss at the Tiger Stadium show
Okay.
originally, and then since he got popped for heroin, then Alice in Chains became the direct support, and then the opening act was Sponge. So
Sponge.
yeah, well, and I think I know we missed them. But I was seeing them a couple nights later anyway because they were doing the um, the record release thing for Wax Ecstatic at Harmony House. You know, the midnight sale. So they performed.
Excuse
See,
me.
so STP at Red Rocks. Oh, that would have been cool.
That's on my bucket list to go
Yeah,
see a show at Red Rocks.
yeah,
For
me
sure.
too.
Dollywood is on my bucket list too. I've never been.
I'm trying to think. There's another what? It's not Dollywood. There's another.
And I love Tennessee. Tennessee is such a beautiful state.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Nashville. When I took Grace to space camp, we spent an afternoon, well, morning, afternoon in Nashville. It just made me want to go back and like really sink my teeth into that place.
Yeah, I mean, even so, I worked out there. I'm back in the mid to late 2000s, and I was there for about 2 to 3 weeks. So I was driving quite a bit around the entire state, like up to Knoxville and the mountains and stuff. And I've lived in Michigan and Florida, two of the flattest places in the United States, and I am not a person who should be driving in the mountains. Because I was like this on the wheel the entire time, like coming down the mountain.
Right. Yeah, one of my vacations as a kid, it had to have been about 79, was like Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge.
We did that too in the
Yeah.
early 80s.
The reason it sticks in my head being 79 because I remember, in fact, I think I still, and no, I know I still have a magazine from that time, a Kiss magazine, like a specialty Kiss magazine. And I bought it there. And at the campground that we were staying at, there was a water slide. And my dad's just like, I'm not paying for you guys to go down that. But they would have music
Sounds
play.
like my dad.
And I just remember, and this is where every time I hear this song, I always think of that moment being there. But it was when the Logical song from Supertramp was popular.
Oh, okay.
So it, you know how like songs and memories all kind of tie in together. So
Yeah, like songs and scent are very strong memory triggers for me.
yes,
I think
or
that's, yeah.
songs will make me think of scents that don't even exist around me. Like if I hear bread, I smell lemon pledge because that was what my mom would be. My mom would put on the best of bread and clean the house with lemon scented pledge. Which I
I
don't.
would give anything. I do love that song, but other bread songs.
Yeah, actually, Uwe, he gave me a bread record, and I still haven't had the chance to clean it up and play it because he had a bunch of records. Like, hey, if you want to take something, go for it. And I'm like, I'll take bread because I'll admit it, I like bread. No shame in that.
They were huge in the early 70s.
Oh yeah.
I am not good at parallel parking.
I do all right now, and with backup cameras, it's even better.
There was live music everywhere in Hollywood. I saw Hyde Park. That sounds nice.
Oh, very cool. But I'm trying to remember there's another amusement park I went to in like the early.
I really think that we could make it.
Yeah.
So we went to Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge and all of that during the World's Fair when the World's Fair was in Knoxville. So I think that was like 81, maybe 81, 82. And my grandmother was born in Johnson City. My paternal grandmother was from Tennessee, and then moved to Michigan. Moved to Michigan in the 20s. This is how fucking old I am. Moved to Michigan in the 20s so that my grandfather could, get a job working in the auto factories,
Right.
which a lot of folks, from the South came north to work in the auto factories.
Right.
But she never lost her Southern accent.
No.
And she was a very good cook. Not the nicest lady in the world to me. But she apparently liked me, so she was a lot nicer to me than my cousins, apparently.
Okay.
Because I never got married and had kids. and she had a lot of kids, and she got married. Apparently wasn't happy about that. But that's what you had to do 100 years ago, right?
Yeah, it's free labor.
But we did, the family trip down there, and we listened to Dolly Parton constantly on the 8-track, and the Eagles on the 8-track, and the Muppet movie soundtrack on 8-track.
Nice.
And my mom's Burgundy Malibu.
Very cool.
So it was me, my sister, my mom, and my dad, and our Irish setter in the backseat of that Malibu.
I don't think we ever
that
took
poor dog.
No, well, not always. We had a dog growing up. And I can't recall us ever taking that dog with us on vacation ever. And we never really took any real distant vacations. I think the furthest south was that Tennessee trip I was talking about.
So my grandparents had a cabin in Tawas for a long time on Lake Huron.
Okay.
And then they got rid of that, which is apparently, that cabin was actually my great grandpa's. And then when they got rid of the place in Tawas, my grandparents and so my mom's mom and dad, they had siblings. So my grandma and grandpa, they get married. And then my grandma's sister also happened to marry my grandpa's brother. So the two sisters married the two brothers.
Okay.
So my aunt and uncle, well, yeah, it's kind of cool because the entire it took me a long time to realize that, the entire family spent the holidays with each other, even though half of them weren't related and half of them were but
Right.
you would not know it because everybody was so close. So my Uncle Dean and my Aunt Shirley, Shirley was my grandma's sister, Dean was my grandpa's brother, they had a place in Mayo. And so then my grandparents got a place in Mayo as their cabin. So we'd go up to Mayo. Good night, guys. Thanks for watching.
Yes, thank you so much for all your support, in the past. So I'm sure we'll see each other in the future.
In the comments.
All right, take care, guys. Sorry, go ahead.
No, so then my grandparents got a place in Mayo. So we just constantly went to northern Michigan for the weekend all summer long when I was a kid and in my teens. Right. Constantly.
Yeah, we would do the up north camping trips, or we have relatives up in a place called Hillman, Michigan, which is
not familiar.
Middle of nowhere. I mean, it's one of those towns that everyone literally knows each other. The road that they lived on was their last name.
Oh, okay.
Those towns. I remember it was a week after I graduated high school. My cousin up there, he graduated high school. Him and his class of 50. Yeah, I remember our post, graduation party was at the, Clarkston Racket Club. It was overnight. parental chaperones, pizza, pop, chips, and all that other shit. You go up there, and it's not just the students, it's the students and the rest of the town at the sportsman's club. And it had one rule: no glass. That was it.
Kind of like the Blues Brothers. Oh no, we have both kinds, country and western.
No,
You're throwing the bottles against
no,
the
it like, I'm, older teenage years, and my dad's just like, knows the rites of passage. He's just like, all right, what do you want for tonight?
Oh, okay.
Dad buying for me because I got hammered that night.
Yeah, that would have never happened in my house. My dad would have been okay with it, but my mom wouldn't have been.
Nice.
So yeah, we would go, to northern Michigan in the summers constantly when I was a kid. And then so we would go to my grandparents, and then my uncle had a place in northern Michigan too where we would go a lot. So I hate that song, the Kid Rock song, all summer long, when he's like, because it was summertime in northern Michigan. I was like, God damn, why do I have to spend so much time in northern Michigan in the fucking summer?
Well, I mean, it's Kid Rock, so already it's automatically an awful song.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's true. I spent a lot of time in the summer in northern Michigan.
I would go now. I mean, since there's such distance of time, yeah, I'd do it again.
I've not been back to northern Michigan in a long time.
Well, like, Traverse City, or are you talking about UP?
Either or.
Yeah.
I haven't spent too much time in the UP. I did a work trip to Houghton. I had to go to the college up there to Northern.
Okay,
Is that where Northern is?
think so.
Northern Michigan. So I flew from Metro to Sault Ste. Marie, and then I had to rent a car and drove across the UP up to Houghton. And that was a great trip because this was still 99, maybe, I think.
Okay.
So, I got a rental car, and it was a nice day in October, and I drove across, and it was so nice, and I stopped at all the waterfalls and all of that. Yep, Siamese cat. That's Sabrina. Her name is Sabrina, my pretty little princess.
Hey, Scott.
Oh, yeah, Scott, we had said earlier, Steve is okay physically. There's nothing wrong. He's just shutting down his business, retiring, and moving on to another stage in life. So,
Well, thank you for coming in and
yeah,
checking us out on this. You're one of those guys that were on with us all the time, so appreciate you being here.
for
And then
sure.
we got this guy.
Good night, Mike. Good luck
That,
in your move.
yes,
I'm
yes.
excited to see your new room, though.
Well, they're going to be in the temporary apartment, and then they're going to be,
Still,
yeah,
I'm excited for what's coming for them.
yes. Looking forward to next year, hanging out with you and Patty again. I'm going to try to come in a day earlier than the last time. I don't know. It felt so rushed in my opinion.
It went
But
by too fast for sure.
yes. Um,
It was such a fun time.
oh yeah, but I've said this before. And I encourage anyone, all 8 people that are left in the chat. I think all the Michigan talk is just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
making people leave, which is fine. But yeah, I mean, if you know of anyone in the area that's in the VC, man, just meet up.
Yeah, you should for sure.
It is so, I don't know, not rewarding. That's not the word I'm looking for, but I don't
Oh,
know.
I think it is. I think it's personally rewarding or maybe fulfilling, maybe.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, that was such a good weekend. So much fun. I mean, uh, the Purchase Street Records stop was great. ride. Well, I mean, I was so tired. I kept on nodding off anyway. Um,
So you missed out on Anthony's colorful narration of her.
well, that's the way I talk when I'm driving
I
too.
know, I do too. I say terrible things to people on the road.
Oh, I mean,
I
yeah,
really
that's
bust out the nasty language, but I'm always alone, so it doesn't matter.
right. And at Anthony's house, that was fun hangout.
Yeah, beautiful home.
Yes, and then of course the party the next day. It was just like it was so wild. Just, you just happen from like little pockets of people all
Yeah.
day long.
I wish we had like another day.
Well, that's why I left so late
Yeah.
because I knew I was probably gonna do something. I just didn't know what. I was just kind of flying by the seat of my pants, and then Jack was just like, "You just want to go downtown and check it out?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." So Jack, the Vinyl Martini, for those who don't know, yeah, Jack and I went downtown.
Handsome Jack, the vinyl
And
martini.
yes, um, yeah. So we walked around downtown and hit another record store and got some stuff there. So it was a good time. And then I came home. So yeah, and then yeah, we were saying bye to you while we were at Starbucks downtown.
Um, I totally forgot what I was going to say, but I was going to say something about Boston, and now I can't remember.
Yeah, it's a town I'd like to go to. Well, I'm hoping to go back, um,
Come here.
especially
Come on.
during football season. And
Oh, a Patriots game?
no, not even a Patriots game. Hanging out at the cave with Anthony and, and his
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And all his food and yeah,
friends.
good times. Yeah, I want to do that too.
I mean, he was showing us this morning. He does this little video of all the spread that he made
I
for him.
know.
This is like, oh my god.
He's
And
such
I
a
think,
nice man.
oh yeah, he's the best.
Yeah, he is. And I'm sure he's probably watching a game right now.
Let's
Probably
see.
eating some probably eating some meatballs and chicken parm.
He's probably back at the house. I know his son had a basketball game
Oh,
at
okay.
o'clock, so which I thought was late, but I guess they do. I was talking to him this morning, and I guess they do like really condensed, you know, periods for their basketball games. Because I'm like, man, it's a Sunday night for kids, and it starts at 8 o'clock. I mean that he's like, no, we're gone for like an hour.
I
So
hear
I'm like,
you
okay,
crying and walking around. Relax a little bit, okay?
but yeah, like that is definitely the best part was just meeting everyone and again to kind of go back to what we were talking about it's a real testament to Steve that he was kind of the nucleus of this whole thing when you think about it, so much appreciated to him, so
Yeah, very much. I'll miss hanging out with you guys, but we'll still be friends
oh absolutely,
for
yeah, I
sure.
mean um so I know you've said you haven't been inspired to do anything.
No, I was telling Trevor earlier this week after, losing my dad and everything, I haven't even been shopping for records. I've not listened to records since my dad died. Um I'm just not interested in music only because my mind can wander when I listen to music, so I'm finding other ways to kind of keep my thoughts from not going off the rails cuz just kind of a tough time. So I've just been watching a lot of old movies and stuff. It's just easier for me to focus on that
Right.
right now. So I probably won't be making any videos. Just Sabrina, stop it. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's
I don't know if you can hear her crying in the background.
fine. Yeah, I heard her, but I mean, I mean, you've heard my dogs.
But yeah, I just haven't, like I said, been listening to music since my dad died. So I've still got the last records that I bought were the records that we bought in Boston.
Oh wow. November 3rd. When is November? Oh, if I only had a device that had a calendar on it.
Now is Harry sells at their record shows from time to time, right?
Sometimes that's on a Sunday. Maybe.
I
I,
like
I,
Harry so much. He's such a
I
nice.
will I'll let you know if I go there. I've never been to a record show.
What?
So,
I think
yeah.
you'd really enjoy it.
So is that Catherine, is that at the Armory in Seattle, right by the
I've
Space
been to the Armory in Seattle.
Have you?
Yes.
Yes, I've been there once. God, us and another family went there before we went to the Mopop Museum, and
Yeah.
then we ended up going to Pike Place, and yeah, it wasn't that long ago. In fact, I wore my Sunday Night Vinyl shirt there, and there was
Oh,
like,
okay.
I think I sent you a photo of it where like there's like a Sub Pop shirt that had the same
Oh,
emblem.
that's right. Yeah. You did.
Like, what the fuck is this? But let's see. Oh yeah, there's Richie Kitty. Let's
She's
see.
being bad right now. She is hyper. She's bouncing off the walls.
Well,
She's not a kitty either. She's 4 years old. She should know better.
yeah, Richard. I've been wanting to go to a record show, and I'm sure I'll like Uwe was on earlier. I'd probably meet up with him because he's like 10 minutes from my house, so we just go up together.
Yeah, I like going to record shows. They are a good time.
All right, Catherine, I will let you know if I'm going or not. So cool.
How far are you from there?
From Seattle?
Yeah.
It's depending on traffic, about a 45-minute drive.
Okay, so not terrible.
No. And plus, I'm so used to that, it doesn't feel like 45 minutes.
Right.
Well, I mean, especially doing what I do, and I no longer have that route where I'm going far distances. I'm basically in the area surrounding the plant that I work for. So it's a lot less stressful, other than what we were talking about earlier before we went on.
Right.
We won't go into that.
But yeah, I enjoy a record show. Only for about an hour and a half. Anything more than that, I can't deal with. Just because, here in Orlando, they have it at the Central Florida Fairgrounds. Hey guys,
What's up?
got back home and wanted to say hello. Anthony, we've been talking about you all night.
Yeah.
What the
We were
hell?
I was telling her about the video you sent me with the spread you got going on for you and your
I
degenerate.
just said you probably have a spread with meatballs and some chicken parm. But in Orlando, it's at the Central Florida Fairgrounds, which is so difficult to say. Central Florida Fairgrounds. I'm like flip. I'm like the Swedish chef. It's kind of in a dingy building. The air conditioning's not great, and they stuff people in there so it can get kind of sweaty and gross and hot. But I still enjoy making it out there,
Yeah. The Armory, from the videos I've seen people do from the Armory, it's spacious and
It's nice. The Armory is nice. They have a bar in there, for Christ's sake.
they got it's like a food court now, and that's why we went there. Was they have like about I don't know, 6, 7, 8 restaurants in there.
I was there in 2017 and we got some drinks. We went because we were there and like we went to the Chuli Museum and that sort of thing. And so then we got a drink because it was such a nice day. So we took our drink outside. And I think it was like an African American festival at the Armory. So they
Oh,
had a bunch of dancers and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. It was
yeah,
a really cool place to like have gatherings like that.
yeah. They utilize that building quite often, so I like it there. I mean, there was a few years I couldn't stand going into Seattle because it just got so it got let go after a while,
Yeah.
and I think they're trying to clean it up. Well, I know definitely not next year. I think it's 2026. They're really gonna be cleaning it up because we're hosting one of the World Cup games.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they're gonna really clean it up downtown. So I don't know.
So
I
we
don't know where we're
took
gonna put all those people, but okay.
we took the little train, not the subway, but
The light rail.
the light rail to that mall that's underground or whatever. We did
Yeah,
that. Um,
yeah,
and
Westlake.
then I went I saw you too there. Um,
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they were playing. Yeah, probably see, the baseball stadium or the football stadium. In 2017, they could be different names at that point.
whichever was bigger because it was the 30th anniversary of Joshua Tree. So they were
Okay.
doing the entire album. Um, I couldn't take my purse in. I had to buy a locker, so that pissed me off.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So I think it might have been the football field because they play because I also saw them in Tampa a month later and they were at the football stadium.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably it. Mhm.
Um, and then I couldn't get away back to my hotel. So I walked and walked and walked and walked, and I was just following this crowd of people. Like my hotel wasn't far from the Space Needle, and I could see the Space Needle. And I couldn't get into a bar because I forgot my ID, and no bar would let me in. And I'm like, I just want to sit down and like call an Uber like in an hour. I promise I won't even drink anything. And quite frankly, I know I'm old enough to be your mother, right?
Right.
But I went to 2 bars and they wouldn't let me in because I didn't have ID on me. I left it in my hotel room accidentally. So I just started walking and walking and walking. And then like the crowd got smaller and smaller because the one guy at the one bar I tried to get into had said, like, I can't let you in, but if your hotel is by the Space Center, or Space Needle, it's not that far. You can just walk.
Right.
And then somebody else, like when I finally got back to the hotel, they were like, "No, that was stupid. You're not close." Um, so I went to this place, and then I was like, "I don't think I'm in a very good neighborhood here." So I went into like this bodega, and I'm trying to pull up Uber on my phone, and this man that worked there came around, and he's like, kind of pissed off at me. And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just waiting for an Uber or trying to get an Uber." And I didn't realize it, but all the people that were in front were all drug addicts. And you could tell I wasn't a drug addict. I was totally sober. I had one drink at the U2 show that I had to have like the guy sitting next to me buy, who was
Uh,
totally high, because I forgot my ID. And that guy was so nice. He's like, "You can hang out here. Just come behind the counter." He's like, "Don't let them bother you." And the one guy goes, "So how do you like Seattle, except for all the drug addicts?" And then he starts yelling at like all these drug addicts, which I felt pretty bad for because
right.
those folks were in desperate need of some help, but they were also pestering the owners of this shop.
It's gotten way overwhelming since I first moved here. But real quick, I think he probably popped out already. But Mark, thank you for hanging out with us. You're definitely another one of those big supporters
Yeah.
of us,
Thanks,
and
Mark.
we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah,
Cool.
I have to watch your video. And so the guy in there was really nice, and he called me a cab and paid for it.
Oh wow, nice.
I mean, sometimes people are just so nice. unexpectedly nice because he's like, "You're not that close. Let me get you a cat." And I'm like, "No, no, I'm not asking for it." So I sent, I wrote down the name of the place at the time and I did send him like some gift cards in the mail. I don't know if they ever made it to him or not, but
Right.
I made the effort to like try to pay him back and stuff, But sometimes people are just so nice.
Oh,
Oh,
Anthony.
thanks, Anthony.
Well, you even said that, Steve told you that you were one of our biggest draws. So, um, but of course, we always love having you on, and obviously, we talk all the time. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, glad you were here, brother. Appreciate it.
So the bus is downtown. I as terrible as it sounds, I don't know how to take a bus. I don't know how
I
to read a bus map or anything like that.
I don't think I've ever taken a bus downtown. I've taken light rail and I just walk. Like I got the company I work for. We have a store in what's known as Sodo, south of downtown.
Yeah, we have a Soto here in Orlando too.
Uh,
South of downtown.
yeah, so I would park there, and across the street is one of the light rail stations. So it saves on the ridiculous parking prices, in Seattle, and two, I just take that to the next stop for the stadiums, or I take it into, like you were saying, the underground mall that's Westlake, or I could take it to Capitol Hill, which is like kind of the cool, hipster area. And I just walk. Um, but yeah, I've never taken a bus. I've taken lots of Ubers there just to get more direct. Like when my dad's in town, we'll probably um, do probably one day downtown. I want to make it at the end. He's not going to watch this, so this would be a total surprise. But during the week, we're going to do some certain things. Like I want to take him to Snoqualmie Falls. I want to take him to Whidbey Island and go over Deception Pass, which is just one of the most beautiful views because you go over this bridge and it's over the water. It's gorgeous. A few other things, but on the waterfront of Seattle, next to the big wheel that they got there, the big Ferris wheel thing,
Yeah.
they got this ride called Wings Over Washington, which everywhere has these things, where it's like you're in these seats and it lifts you up and you got this huge movie screen and you're kind of flying over these things. Well, I already seen previews of this thing and I already know, like, oh, okay, we're going to be going to this place. We're going to be going to that place. And it's going to show at the end or during
Yeah.
this movie. I want to do this at the end of the week to kind of like encompass,
That'll be fun.
yeah.
That'll be fun. So it's almost, I know it's not quite 10, but it's almost 10.
Yeah.
Do you want to start winding down and cutting it
Yeah.
off?
I just want to tell everyone that's left here and whoever watches this, hopefully after, we're done here. Thank you all
Yes,
for, coming with us every other week and hanging out with us in the chat. You guys are just awesome. We get to know many of you through this thing. And, like I said, that's a testament to Steve for putting this all together.
for
So,
sure.
and like we said, he's healthy, he's good, we're all good. Um, and I'm just glad to have been a part of it. I'm, glad to have my partner right here. Now we could, talk all the Michigan that we want now.
Yeah, 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 for sure.
Um, but is it okay. But yeah, I just want to thank you guys for hanging out with us on Sunday nights, and it's been a great ride.
Hanging out in the comments. So much fun.
Yeah, so I'm sure we'll be hanging out sometime soon, in the future.
And everybody who's still around who wasn't on earlier, subscribe to Richard's channel, Richard S.
Yes. Yeah.
He just
Great.
started his channel up.
Yeah, he's got, I think, 3 videos up now. So yeah, check him out. Great guy. You know, I'm sure. Well, we're like Facebook friends now, so I could tell him when we do like a rando hangout. I'll give him a buzz and see if he wants to hang out with us. So,
Yeah.
Catherine, thank you for coming out and
Thanks,
hanging out with
Catherine.
us. Yeah, we hope Steve comes back too. But you know, this is his thing, so we'll see. And if I talk to him and he wants to say hi to everyone, we'll let you all know. Let's see. Oh, no worries, Richard. No problem. All right, cool. Glad to see more coming out. All right, guys, we're gonna shut this down. And again, thank you so much for all the hangouts. So
And the comments. We'll see you in the comments.
yes,
And watch Trevor on Wednesday over at Robert Northern
yeah,
Revolutions.
yeah, I'll be on Northern Revolutions on Wednesday. Talking about what I have no idea. So all right, everyone,
Thanks
have a
again.
good night, and we'll
Bye.
hopefully see you later. Take care. Bye.